Coming up on the Cubes of Saturdays podcast.
It was probably one of my most challenging challenge. And then I did the X Minx underwater, which was more challenging than the 17 by 17. One day I was looking at Mr. Beast video of him trying to stay underwater for 24 hours, and that got me inspired to try to do this underwater.
Hello, I'm Max Chan, aka MC Stuff, and you're listening to Season 2, Episode 10 of the Cubes of Saturdays podcast. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to episode 10, season 2 of the Cubes of Saturdays podcast. I'm your host Max Chan, or MC Stuff, and joining me once again is Jake, and also I have a very special guest. I have Simon Shi, who has 500k followers on TikTok and over 40k subscribers on YouTube. So thank you, Simon, for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, so Jake and I have also prepared some discussion points and questions for you to answer. So I guess I'll start. So Simon, you obviously are a really big influencer in the cubing community. So how did that exactly start up? Like, how did you start cubing, and like, how did you discover the cube?
Yeah, so I think I picked up the Rubik's Cube when I was around 12 years old. I wanted to learn it, so I went on YouTube and started to look up tutorials. And after I think less than 1 hour, I solved it for the first time, and I became hooked. Ever since then, I got more puzzles, a 4x4, 5x5, pyramids, different sizes and shapes. And I also started posting YouTube videos in 2009. So that's 11 years ago, just on and off, just posting fun Rubik's Cube video. And yeah, that's how I got started.
Yeah, and would you say that the cubing community has like changed from back then, like from 2009 until now? Like, what differences or what big differences have you seen since then, like 11 years ago?
Oh yeah, for sure. I know I've been following Felix Zemdegs for pretty much my entire life. I know he's a little older than I am, maybe 1 or 2 years older, but I just remember just watching his YouTube videos, his 5 second solve, world record, 6 seconds at the time, 7, 6, and then 4 seconds, 4.22. And then also more content, more people started creating Rubik's Cube videos. Back then, I know there was one really, really good tutorial. I think it's called Dan Brown. That's the tutorial I was watching, and that taught me how to solve Rubik's Cube. And there's just more creative people coming into the space, like Cubastic, Cubing Encoded, JPerm, and yeah, there's so many right now, and it's good to see the cubing community grow. So it's growing constantly each year.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Like, I believe there's at least 100,000 people in the WCA right now. And I personally have started cubing in 2015, and I haven't been cubing as long as you, but I definitely have seen a growth in the community, definitely more people creating content. And yeah, I just say, like, there's like back then, like when I started, do you know like Derpy Cuber, like those people, like hashtag Cuber, those people, they like when I went to a competition, those were some people that I'd see. And now it's like Cubing Encoded, JR Cuber, like they're still pretty popular. Like, you're a big influencer in the community, like more people have come on the rise. But yeah, so Jake, what are your thoughts on this also? Like, what have you seen since you started cubing in 2017 also?
Honestly, not much has changed. I guess the rise in J-Perm actually, like, because I think he was like just starting out when I started cubing, which was early 2017, and he's like skyrocketed. He has like over 400k subs now, and he's growing at an insane rate.
Yeah.
Okay, so now moving on to content creation. So you make YouTube videos as well as TikTok. I'm pretty sure most people know you from your TikTok because you have a big influence there. But I wanted to start with YouTube here first. So I also create content on YouTube as well. But I just wanted to ask you, how did you start creating content on YouTube? Like, or no, I mean, like, how's your process creating content? So like, you have this amazing idea for a video. How is that executed? Starting from planning it all the way to publishing it. How does that all work for you?
Yeah. First, I want to talk about when I started back in 2009, 2010, my early days. So some videos, if you look in the back, I edited, and they have this watermark in the middle of the screen for the whole video. or at least some. So I think back then I just find a free editing software and just post whatever I want. But right now, I when I have an idea, I actually write things down, whether it's on Google Drive, the Google Docs, or just on paper. I have a plan before each video and what I want to accomplish, what sponsors are there that I have to get their products in the video, use my discount code, and so I write everything down and I plan it. Then I make the video. Depending on the video style, it could take a couple minutes, couple hours, couple days. So I shoot that. I get a lot of B rolls, and a lot of video I create don't go onto the YouTube. Doesn't make the cut because I just have so many footage of different angles of Rubik's cube, different stuff. So it doesn't hurt to shoot more videos than you need. So I have all the videos. I put them in a video editor called Sony Vegas Movie Studio Platinum 15.0. I got
Nice.
that in January 2019 for $60 one time fee. It's decent. It has a lot of features in it, and I don't have the high end like Adobe Premiere. So edit it, and then I write my caption, put the tags, and then I make sure to get my thumbnail, take a picture somewhere in the process of making the video. So I have a thumbnail picture. I edit that, and then I just post it and share it across my social media.
Yeah, nice process there. Yeah, I think I have a similar process as well. Like I think your most popular video is the 13 by 13, you solving a 13 by 13. So I just wanted to ask, like, is that the video that like popped off for you? Like, when was that posted again? Like a couple years ago, I believe.
Yeah, it was posted in 2016.
Okay. So would you say that like spiked your growth a little bit, or was there something else that like made you popular in the cubing community?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Do you know how many subscribers I had back then?
No, I'm not sure.
I believe it was around 200 before that 16 million video.
Oh wow, wow,
200 subscribers. So I was
that's insane.
just making videos, and um, after that video was posted, I didn't post for 2 years. I kind of lost interest in YouTube because I didn't think I could make money off YouTube or have it as a career. So I focused on college, and that was when I was entering college. So 2 years I posted my 17 by 17 video. It got viral on Facebook, not on YouTube. And then a year later in 2019, I started really posting more content. So I started out with a base of 26,000 subscribers. So that was the growth I had um, during those 3 years. I didn't really post.
Wow, that's insane. Like, considering like one video just popped off and that was just the growth there. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Jake, did you have a question for Simon, that you prepared also,
No.
or anything else you want to talk about here?
Honestly, I didn't really know Simon that much before we started talking about him on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So another thing, on the TikTok side of this, so you have over 500K followers on TikTok. So how exactly did you like start doing TikTok? Would you say? Because I know it's a recent platform that just came up in the world.
Yeah, I started July 4th of 2019. I posted one video and then I deleted the app and re-downloaded it October 2019, so 1 year ago. I posted my first Rubik's Cube TikTok and then been posting ever since. So 1 year ago, in 1 year, I've gained 500K followers on TikTok. Before that Rubik's Cube TikTok, I think I had like 10 or 15 followers. But I didn't really see Rubik's Cube content on TikTok or didn't know of any. I found a dude's corner, which his video popped off with the gunshot TikTok. So I made a similar one. I did credit him, but I didn't credit him for the second one in January 2020 because I already credited him like twice or three times, and I guess he got like suspicious, but oh well. But yeah, posting. some of my YouTube content's on there, and just following TikTok trends.
Yeah, that's a good strategy to have. And would you say that it's easier to grow on TikTok a lot faster than YouTube is?
Uh, it really depends. I say I say TikTok. Yeah, you can grow faster based on what I've experienced. I mean, 500K, that's a lot. Getting to that on YouTube will probably take a couple years. Um, but on TikTok, it took me 1 year, and the insane growth. I think TikTok is easier.
Yeah, the platform is constantly growing. Like TikTok, it's just a lot of kids are gravitating towards that. And I guess YouTube is for like long form content, I guess, and TikTok is it has like shorter attention spans and it incorporates music as well, and that's what intrigues a lot of like younger viewers as well, or people who use the platform.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah. All right, and then aside from social media, you also do you Speedcube or do like cubing like competitively?
Uh, I did attend one last year. I don't really attend it, but hopefully after the pandemic, after COVID, I'm able to go to more competitions and meet my fans. Yeah, I don't do competitions, but I really want to get into speed cubing and get faster, solving three by three. Hopefully breaking Kevin Hayes 10 Rubik's cube underwaters in the future, and that's where most of my fans are, and I hope to see them at competitions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then just going back to one of your videos. Sorry, I'm just fascinated by this, but you assembled a 17 by 17 cube recently. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Underwater, yeah. So wait, is that? Oh wait, not underwater. I mean, you just assembled it, but you solved it underwater also. But yeah, how do you want to just like walk through exactly how that like worked? Because it's just mind-boggling for me to like comprehend how exactly somebody could do that. Like, what was the thought process of you like making this video, and like what did you think like during it also?
Oh yeah, so I think that got over 600K, 600,000 views right now. It was probably one of my most challenging challenge, and then I did the X Minx underwater, which was more challenging than the 17 by 17. Uh, but one day I was looking at Mr. Beast video of him trying to stay underwater for 24 hours, and that got me inspired to try to do this underwater. And like literally no one has done it before, so I was really nervous. And like the days leading up to when I'm supposed to film it, take 4 to 5 hours of my morning and just be underwater. And the hardest part was breathing. Not a lot of people know, but so breathing through a snorkel, you have this tiny hole, and you're just breathing out that tiny hole for 4 to 5 hours, and your skin just starts getting really soggy. And yeah, that was just really interesting. And looking back to it, I was like proud I made that video, and yeah, that popped off.
Yeah. I could never do that. Like I can barely hold my breath alone for like 20 seconds or so. But
Yeah,
um yeah, and I guess you taking exponential risks like also like sort of following the trends in a way but like taking it in a different way like you got inspired by the Mr. Beast thing and that was something that's really popular and you turned it into a cubing thing and I think that's like something good that a lot of YouTube creators are doing now that like helps grow a lot. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And Jake, anything else you want to add on that, or anything else you want to mention?
No, not really.
Or now going back to another subject. So you also do swimming, and also you like are pretty physically active. I think I've seen your other channel as well. Do you want to like talk about some other non-cubing things you do in sports and all that?
Oh yeah, so I was on this Division 1 college swim team at Virginia Tech all 4 years from 2016 to 2020, and also being the team captain my senior year. I did graduate in May 2020 with a computer science degree, and yeah, swimming has been a huge part of my life. And now, since swimming is over, well, I could still technically still swim and try to compete for an Olympic spot for the Canadian Olympic trials next year. but it just takes a lot of work, and it's time to move on with my career, my life. So I picked up triathlons, and hopefully I'll get my first ever triathlon soon. And I think the reason why I did that is I just love competing. I love racing. I love getting in top shape. So that's another area I'm I'm really into, the fitness.
Nice. Yeah, so a triathlon. So I'm not exactly sure how that works. So it's I know it's biking, swimming, and running also. So do you know exactly like how long each of the distances are for that?
So it depends. An Olympic distance is I believe 1,500 meter swim, and then a 40-kilometer bike, which is around 25 miles, and then a half marathon run, which is 13.1 miles, and then an Ironman, which is a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike, and a marathon 26.2-mile run.
Okay. So there's different levels, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's still obviously insane. Like you have to obviously be really well rounded in that. So would you say swimming is like your strong suit, like throughout the triathlon, or have you been like working on biking and running also?
I've been mainly focusing on the biking and running because swimming, I pretty much am faster than most of the triathletes competing because no one, well, yeah, I had an extensive swim career, so I swim from time to time and just try to get my biking and running stronger.
Okay. Yeah. So for me personally, I'm not good at swimming either. So like I think I took swimming lessons, but I never really got into it. Like I don't think I could ever really do a triathlon because it's just really it's tough on your body also, but I guess it shows that you want to push yourself to the limit and like just see what your human body can do, and also like that you have that competitive aspect, which is a really good trait to have as well. And yeah, so like um yeah, I also do running as well, and like I ran a 10K also today. So would you say like being more athletic and physically active like has helped you in any other parts of, or no, like I mean has there been any parallels throughout like sports and cubing also? Anything like the competitive aspect or anything else?
Uh, I I think when I go to cubing competitions more in the future, I just want to perform at my best. So there's in swimming, you get ready for a competition weeks before that, and you practice, you work on um, different strokes, different you work on the start, the flip turns, and like individual parts. So I guess I can turn that into cubing, pick out the specific parts. And what Leo, Felix, Max, the professionals are really good at is working on those specific parts, doing the boring stuff, and that's how they improve. Um, and then during competitions, there's the nervousness that gets everybody. I'm sure how to handle being nervous and use that adrenaline to perform at your best.
Yeah. So like once competitions start back up, do you see yourself like I don't know. I've seen like some YouTubers do like series where they say like, "Oh, I'm training for this competition." Do you see yourself doing something like that for a competition, like getting like honing in on an event and then getting like really fast at it?
Yeah, I would love to keep myself accountable with my subscribers. So if I announce, oh, I'm gonna go to this January competition in California, hopefully you'll make it, and I'll be training. I'll keep you guys updated on my training, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, actually a good idea.
Yeah. And also, I don't know how well you know about like cubing hardware or not right now, but um, so do you know about like budget cubes right now? Like, what are your opinion on that? Like, cubes getting cheaper, I'd say, and like the performance is getting a lot better. Do you know
Yeah,
much about that?
it's a little. I not really keep track of those. I know the GAN 11M Pro. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
That
Gan's latest flagship.
yeah, they just came out, and I know I did try the Moyu RS3M 3x3, and I think that's a really good budget cube. But I got my first magnetic cube the beginning of this year, so that was no, last year actually. I got my GAN 356X this year, and yeah, but not much. I don't know much about what's the technology inside. I just turn the cube and make something out of it.
Okay. And then another thing I know Jake wanted to talk about was big cubes.
Yeah.
So like for 5x5, 6x6, and 7x7, I think you were mentioning before, like, what do you think are like the best ones on the market? I'm not sure if
Yeah,
you know much
so
about this, but
I practice a lot of big cubes. I'm nearing sub 1 on 5x5. I'm sub 2 on 6x6, and I'm close to sub 3 on 7x7. Those are like the big barriers for big cubes pretty much. And yeah, so I guess I'll just talk about hardware first. Like 5x5, the Ouchwang WRM and the Volk 5 are both really good. The Ouchwang is my main, and then 6x6 is just the MGC. It's the only like good one.
Mhm.
On 7x7 is pretty much just the MGC as well.
I actually have the Moyu Altron WRM 5x5, the YJ MGC, and the 7x7 some budget cube magnetic.
okay,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
I love the 5x5 and 6x6.
Yeah, and it shows that like budget cubes, you can still perform pretty well on them. Like I believe Kieran, he's like really fast at big cubes, and he uses the MGC. The MGC line, it's not like the highest end, but it's also like extremely good, and world class cubers can use it. Like I still use the Hayes 7 for 7x7. It was a pretty expensive cube, but I got it back in 2018, and it still served me pretty well. Um,
Yeah, yeah, cool.
yeah, and then another thing that we have that we want to talk about was factory lubes. So is that something you want to talk about, Jake? Here?
I hate factory loops so much. Basically, I, what I see most people doing is like they'll take the cube out of the box and like it kind of hurts me. They never like clean out the factory lube and like it's just stuck in there like gunking up your cube and making it worse. I really just don't like factory lube because I can't basically have to clean it out to be fully satisfied with the cube. That's just me. Uh and like I even cleaned out like my sub 7 and stuff. I cleaned out the factory lube just because it annoyed me so much. I really wish cube companies would like release like unlubed versions of it. Like you could sort of like how they had DIY kits back in like the early 2010s. I mean, Simon, you can
Oh
probably
yeah.
touch on that. Like where you
Uh-huh.
just like have to assemble the cube right as you take it out of the box. Yeah, they could do something like that, but like I don't know, just no lube inside the cube so you can like take it out of the box and just put your own lube in and be good to go.
Hmm.
All right. So Simon, did you have anything to add about that? Like have you unboxed many cubes that like have that problem of the or do you like lube your cubes much when they come out of the box?
I don't. The first like unboxing video I did was this year, so not much experience with that. I Every unboxing I had so far is nice in my opinion because I don't have enough uh unboxing to do that.
Okay. Yeah, and then Jake, you mentioned assembling cubes also. So like assembling your 7x7 after wiping it down. And Simon, I know you're pretty good at assembling cubes as well. So I just wanted to know because for me, I've never assembled anything above a 5x5, like 5x5 or up. Like how do you
Pathetic.
both like what's your strategies in assembling cubes? I don't know if there's any specific thing or you just take a lot of time out of
I
your
don't
day to
know,
do it.
just do it. I mean, there's nothing really to it. Just do it.
Yeah, I made a video on my channel like assembling a 4x4. That was a struggle for me because those internal pieces you had to put together and like slide in. I think like there's a couple cubes in my cubing career like a Wuhua 6x6, I believe. That one it popped and then I could not put it back together and right now it just sits in a bag in my room all disassembled. So also Simon, so you disassembled a 17 by 17 and then put it back together. So how exactly did that work? Like you took it apart. Like how tedious was the process, and how did you assemble it?
The main thing was time. There's a lot of pieces. First, you have to sort the pieces so you know which piece goes where on the cube. So in my video, I think I showed them that I showed you guys that the how I kind of sorted, or maybe some B-roll of different um, assortment. So sorting the centers, there would be four centers of the centerpieces, and then the edges, and just building it from top to bottom, being really careful on the build, being really careful building it, building the first layer because that's when it's the most fragile.
Yeah. And how long did that take you, by the way, to assemble the whole cube?
17 by 17, I think less than 9 hours. Yeah, easier than the Examix.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, and it does. It's I think like even layer cubes, they have like those little internal pieces as well. So I think odd layer cubes are maybe a little bit easier to assemble. I'm not exactly sure,
I mean, what you
but
Yeah,
can
I
do with
think yeah, odd layers are easier.
yeah, they're easier, but what you can do with even layer cubes is like, you know how the first like few sets of internals are like really difficult to like put in, and sometimes they don't like stay together. You can put like a thick lube like to sort of
oh,
temporarily glue the small internal piece to the big internal, that sort of thing, and then just slide it in, and it should like stay there a bit better. I do that quite often.
okay, that's nice.
Hmm.
All right, and then one last like discussion point or question that I want to talk about with Simon was, so you were sponsored by Speedcube Shop, is that correct?
Uh, what's your definition of sponsored?
Or I just checked your, or not sponsored, like you have a discount code. Like how exactly did you get like, or like you're in collaboration with them? Because I see on your YouTube channel like you can use a code on Speedcube Shop.
Yeah. I would say right now an ambassador. What I consider sponsored is people paying me cash, and
Oh,
I've had
okay,
different brands pay me in cash, but not a Speed Cube store yet. Sponsored, they could send me products. That could be considered sponsored. Um, yeah, but yeah, sponsor slash ambassador. If you use my discount code, I don't get any money. Just so you know.
okay. Well, it at least shows the support um that people get through watching your videos and like using it at stores. But yeah, do you see yourself in the future getting sponsored or like applying for it, something like that? Because you have a big influence, like, and I don't know if other TikTokers have like been sponsored or something like that from a cube retail store. So do you see yourself in the future doing that?
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll still have the Speed Cube Shop discount code. But I'm also, yeah, we'll see about the future, about like what I really want to get sponsored by in all my videos. Um, yeah, but we'll
Okay.
see.
All right. And then on this podcast, we do have two segments on here. Also, in addition to the discussion points and questions, so Jake and I have prepared some questions. A would you rather segment we have on this podcast, and a rapid fire segment. So we'll start with the would you rather segment here first. I have two would you rather questions here for you. Um, and are you ready to begin?
Yes, I am.
Would you rather? All right. So the first one here is: would you rather have more time or more money?
I'll say more time.
Okay. So do you want to elaborate on that a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
more?
okay. I wasn't sure if it's just a one answer or just elaborate.
We'll
Uh,
get to that in rapid fire.
oh, okay, okay, okay. More time because I mean, life is short. You can't really buy time back. If you have more time, you can have more opportunity to make more money. And yeah, time is just too precious.
Yeah, I agree with that. Money can't buy happiness there.
Mhm.
And Jake, what about you? What are your thoughts on that?
I would actually say money, but that's probably gonna change over the next few years because, at least with like online school and stuff, I actually have a pretty good amount of time to just kind of do what I want and relax. So yeah, I'd say money.
Okay. Would you spend like what would you spend the money on, or like how would you use it or save it, or
Cubes.
what cubes? Okay, nice.
Mhm.
All right, and then the second would you rather question I have here is, would you rather for Simon, would you rather give up YouTube or TikTok?
Ooh, man. Oh, man. I would say, oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Oh, man. That's a hard one. I would say, maybe TikTok because I've been doing YouTube longer.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like TikTok, I feel like sometimes like there's like this I don't know, like have you heard in like the government like I don't know, TikTok might be banned because of like the government sort of like the data thing.
Yeah, Chinese spy. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. I'm just, ah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess you've invested more time in doing YouTube.
yes, I did. Maybe that's why.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. And then, so those were the would you rather questions I prepared and Jake prepared as well. And the next segment on this podcast we have is called Rapid Fire. So this is where you get to answer the questions in, I guess, as quickly as possible, sorta. And it's a little bit quicker than would you rather. So are you ready to begin the segment Rapid Fire?
Yes.
Rapid Fire. Okay, so I have 10 questions here, and you're going to try to answer them, I guess, as quickly as you can, with meaningful answers here. So I actually try to time the guests on here. So I had Phil Yu, owner of the Cubicle, on a couple episodes ago, and I believe he got 31 seconds. So we'll see if
Oh, 31
Simon,
seconds? 10,
yeah,
10 questions?
yes,
What, you got Phil?
yeah, Phil Yu did it in 31 seconds. So I'm just pulling up my phone timer right now.
All right, I think I'm ready.
Okay, three, two, one, begin. All right. Do you like carrots?
Yes.
What is your favorite board game?
Monopoly.
Favorite beverage?
Coke.
Wind or aisle seat? Window or aisle seat?
Window.
Running or swimming?
Swimming.
Google or Safari?
Google.
Mac or PC?
PC.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Rap or pop?
Pup.
If you had the world's attention for 10 seconds, what would you say?
Hi.
Okay, I stopped it right there. Nice. You got sub 30 there. 29.95 seconds.
Let's
Congratulations.
go.
That's a new record for the Cube Stuff Saturdays podcast. There we go. That's a pretty tough time to beat. And coincidentally, you actually had the same exact answer for question 10 as Phil. Because if you had the world's attention, you would say hi. Yeah, like going back to that, like I also talked about this with Phil, and he said um, like just keeping it like short because pretty much impossible to have the world's like consent at one time to like say something. But do you want to sort of elaborate on your answer? Like what were you like thinking? And would there be like a more in-depth answer if you had more time to answer the question?
Uh, yeah, there would be a more in-depth if I had more time. Like, hi, how are you guys doing? And then say something like, life is too short to be sad or mad, just be happy. But I think hi is my initial reaction to that because that's how, I greet someone. And when you talk about, oh, you have the world's attention, I'll just say hi, the first thing I'll say.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to overwhelm the person or the
Yeah.
people, the like almost 8 billion people who are watching. And like if you think about it, like there's like almost I guess more than half the population can't understand English, so it'd be kind of hard there. But it's just a question to get your mind moving, I guess, a little bit there. So, and then Jake, what are your thoughts on this? What would you say if you got the world's attention for 10 seconds? Also,
Hi.
all right, nice. Do you have the same elaboration there or same explanation as Simon there,
Yeah,
sort of?
pretty much.
Okay, nice. All right, so that wraps up everything on my note sheet. Jake, is there anything else you would like to mention for Simon before we wrap up?
GAN is bad.
Again, do you want to elaborate on that? I'm not.
Their cubes are unstable and
Or like you mean
overpriced.
overpriced? Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. All right. So, and then Simon, anything else you would like to say before we wrap up this episode of the podcast?
No, but thank you so much for having me.
All right, so yeah, and before we also wrap up, where can people find you on the internet, Simon?
So if you Google the Simon Shi, my YouTube channel should pop up. Instagram is the underscore Simon Shi. TikTok is the Simon Shi. YouTube the Simon Shi. Yeah, so she is SHI at the end. The Simon Shi.
Okay, nice. I will definitely be sure to plug that in the show notes. Thank you, Simon, for taking time out of your day to come on the podcast. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much as well.
That wraps up Season 2, Episode 10 of the Cube Stuff Saturdays podcast. Thank you so much for listening up until this point. I really do appreciate you guys who just come to the very end because you're the real ones after all. But I had a very great conversation with Simon. Thank you, Jake, for coming on the podcast as well. We're trying to incorporate him in a little bit more in the podcast. We're going to have other special guests on in the future that you guys can look forward to. But I'm also thinking, you know, how like I said, the season's going to be ending at like 10 episodes possibly, like that's going to be capping it there, but I don't know about that because I think it should sort of run in like the ebbs and flows and just see where it goes. It shouldn't just be because of like it shouldn't be restricted just because of every 10 episodes. Maybe I want to make it longer or shorter, who knows. So I don't know, this could go on to 50 episodes, it could go on to the next season, could be one episode, who knows, honestly. But this is what it is, guys. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. Be sure to rate this podcast if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to it as well. Comment down below if you're watching from YouTube, and also like the video. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and as always, happy cubing. Peace.